Well, this is our last video, I think, where we will parse with the professor. Again, I trust you have begun your study time in prayer. And in previous lectures, we've shown you step three. Step three really has two steps, remember? 3A is consonants, 3B is vowels. Well, now, hang on tight. It's not going to get any harder, but if you've got it in your head that step three has two parts, now step four is going to have two parts, okay? Because we've got to determine person, gender, number, and then we're going to add another component to parsing that, frankly, after my first year of Hebrew, I never got, and you're going to get it this week. It's very easy, right? Because it's all easy. Some quick review. We know that we have three pairs plus one, right? We have 7 stems. We have simple action, call, nafal. We have intensive action, pl, puol. We have causative action. In other words, action like holiness, it's not natural. Causative action is something that an individual or individuals doesn't do unless it's a very conscious thought. So holiness in the Hebrew Bible is always a hifil. The causative hifil and hofal stems, those are your three pairs. Simple action, intensive action, causative action, 3 pairs plus 1, and the hithpalel, the reflexive action, right? So we showed you this chart. All of these are active and passive, and finally the reflexive or the hithpalel is neither active or passive. It is an action done for oneself on behalf of oneself. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we did 3A, blah blah blah. Okay, new and improved, right? So I think we're gonna let Droopy Dog. Y'all remember Droopy Dog? Yeah. Step 4, A and B. Now, step 4 in the acronym, the yod in the name Hiski Yah. The yod stands for the word to add. Remember Joseph's name, Joseph of Genesis, means to add. When he was born, he was an added son to Jacob. And also in his adulthood, he added up all the grain in Egypt. So step 4, now with A and B, we're going to be looking for not one thing that's been added, but 2 things that have been added to the word as we parse. So 4B, again 4A is what? Person, gender, number. Any action has to have an actor. But, as you know, in Hebrew we have the direct object. Jeff kicked what? The ball. Just like Jeff is a noun, the word ball is a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Well, the ball is a thing, right? Jeff is a person. Now, in the grammar, you learned in first semester Hebrew that just before a direct object is et, the aleph tav. It is telling you the noun that comes next is the direct object. Well, verbs can also have, according to Droopy Dog, he says, I am so happy, and yes he is, he's happy, happy, happy. I think he watches too much of, what's that show? It's the Duck Hunters, Duck Dynasty, there we go. I've never seen a full episode of that, but I hear it's good. I don't watch a lot of television, but he is so happy because he's now learning that there is a second way that Hebrew can express a direct object, and it is through a suffix hanging on the end of the verb. So if you don't want to repeat Jeff after your sentence, Jeff kicked the ball, or I mean, you don't want to repeat ball, and the ball flew through the air, well, you can have a suffix. Okay, and it is a pronominal suffix, meaning what? Well, the pronominal suffix is a remnant of the pronoun, not the full pronoun, because the full pronoun would be a complete word and would stand by itself. Like an E means I. But as a suffix, It's just T or as a verb, or ni as the pronominal suffix on a verb. All right, I know you didn't catch all that, but that's why we're parsing together, right? So here we have, we're going to think about step 3b, a suffix put on a word. So I've circled the root, and as you can see here, the the kaf, bet, dalet, kavod means to be heavy or weighty or glorious when it's used in an abstract notion in a context. So we've circled it, and the curious thing is we have two dagesh, right? Isn't that crazy? Two dagashim. Step 4b, now we're just going to assume, you know, steps 1, 2, and 3 you got down. We're going to focus just on number 4, step 4. So we're going to add two things. The first thing is this tav. That is the person, gender, number, right? But then, lo and behold, we've got two more letters and a consonant. Well, technically it's a letter and a full vowel, the hirik yod. The yod is not a consonant. In this context, it's part of a long I vowel, right? And so, what is that? So now it's in red. Let me move my arrow down just a little bit. Well, that is the direct object. Okay, that is the direct object. And it's always going to be on the end. It's not like if it's imperfect, it can be at the front. No, person, gender, number, perfect, imperfect only applies to the person, gender, and number of the person doing the action. The direct object, when it is a pronominal suffix, is always on the end. There are no exceptions. Alrighty, no exceptions. So we've got two things here. Well, three things. We've got the root, it's circled in red. We have a tav, that is person, gender, number, and we have a ni, the first common singular of the verb. Okay, so now we have three elements that we're looking at. And we've taught you that step 3 has steps A, B, and this lecture, brand new, step 4 has steps A and B. 4A is person, gender, number of the verb. You've already been doing that. All I'm adding is 4B, which is look for the suffix, which is the direct object. So in Hebrew grammar, you can have a et, aleph tav, a space, and then the noun. And the et tells you the next word is going to be a noun, and it's the direct object. Or it can throw out the et, the aleph tav, and simply put a pronominal suffix on the verb, and it's the exact same thing. You've got a direct object. It's just how it is expressed in the sentence, okay? So here is 4A, the tav. 4B is the nun hirik yod. Got that? This is new and improved Hezekiah principle. Don't sweat over this now. This is very, very simple, okay? So now we're going to take shamar. Once again, we've got, appears 3 letters on into this thing. Let's not jump to conclusions yet, though. The first tav there in red, that's 4A. You've got to have that. And because there's nothing in front, we know it's got to be a perfect verb, because all imperfects have a prefix. All perfects only have, at the end, the person, gender, number. But when we look there, well, we've got who, right? Hey and the shrik. So what do we have then? Well, let me see if I can scoot this over just a little bit. Come on now, work with, there we go. All right. So we've got shamar, mean to guard. T, well, that's person, gender, number. That's 2FS, right? Second feminine singular. You guarded him. Third masculine singular. You, and it's feminine, guarded him. You see that? It'll come to you. So again, we're doing the droopy dog dance. Oh yeah, doing the droopy dance. This is so easy. Now here's a pretty technical one. Sorry for the, it's trying to turn this into English and it's not English, right? So I've circled the root, and boy, this is a goofy looking word. It's got two taws in front. Man, that's weird. And then I've got a here yod, and then I got a hey shuruk on the end. Boy, this is just confusing. But what do we have? Again, we're talking 4A, 4B. Okay. But for the moment, we've got two taws, and we know from 3A, if this is a hith palel, the characteristic stem marker is hey tav. But we have tav tav. The hey has been scared off. Oh, so that means it can only be scared off by person, gender, number, affirmative. So we know it's an imperfect. We know it's hifil, we know it's imperfect. And yeah, hith with imperfect. Okay, and our next slide, we have Hirkyod. So it is a hith palel imperfect because the hey was scared off. It's second feminine singular, and the who ending is just like the previous verb we parsed, third masculine singular, and that is the suffix. Okay, so step 4A, person, gender, number. You've been doing that for 2 weeks already, but now we have a 4B. We're going to see if the direct object has been attached to this verb through a pronominal suffix, and that suffix is just a remnant of the full pronoun as a word of the pronoun, okay? But we just have a remnant of it. So one more. You think we can do it? You know, we've been bench pressing here a little bit, right? We've been pushing up some heavy weight. We're going to do one more. What do we have? Well, the root is the kof, tet, and lamed. And I've put brackets around instead of a circle around the root so that you will, I'm trying to highlight this Hirkyod. Sorry for the spell check kicked in there. Thought I had all those eliminated. Curious, right? Well, this is a hifil. It is that I of the hifil. Now, you said, what about this first I in hifil? Well, the hey was scared off. And so this yellow yod at the front is the person, gender, number. And the characteristic vowel then between the second and third letter of the root, that's in brackets or in circles. And then, though, you've got this final cough. What on earth is a cough? With imperfect, you always have to have a prefix. A few of them, you have person, gender, number at the end as well. You have both. But a cough is not one of them, a singular cough. So what is that? Well, it is the suffix. Yeah, second feminine singular suffix. So this verb has a suffix, yeehaw, faster, human, faster. Yeah, don't let this crush you, okay? This is easy, it's fun. We're just adding step 4B. In this case, we have T on the end, first common plural. It's called because, well, there is not a dagesh in either of these. There's no stem marker, or noon, hey, hey, ta at the beginning. No dagesh. So we have a call perfect first common plural with a suffix, which is, again, the direct object, right? The direct object. Kim, second masculine plural. I mean, this suffixes don't scare this ostrich. He's not sticking his or her. Those look like lady glasses, right? No kidding. When I was born back in the late '60s, my mom had glasses almost exactly like that, and they actually thought those were pretty at one time. Yikes! But in any event, this ostrich is not sticking her head in the sand. No, suffixes don't scare her, and they shouldn't scare you. Alrighty, very nice. Again, it's just a process of elimination. You know that. You follow these 5 steps. We've added just 4B is the only point of this lecture. And all imperfects have the affirmative at the beginning, right? Folks, this is simple. Hezekiah principle. Now you have step 3AB, step 4AB. 4B, you're just looking for the pronominal suffix that is the direct object. That's it. It's so simple. And this lecture is over.